Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Rama. Part 4. Rama Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna. If you can hear me, please raise your right hand. If you can't hear me, please raise your left hand. Okay. And if you can really hear me, raise your both hands. And let's say Gauranga, so everyone who is standing outside, they all come in together.
If you're not here, raise your hands.
Hare Krishna, welcome to the morning program, to the farewell gathering for our dear Bhaktavatsala Prabhu. What a blissful way to start. We had such a nice invocation by having a blissful morning. We had a 205 sets of Srimad Bhagavatam sponsor. So this is already auspicious beginning. So thank you very much. We would like to express our gratitude to Bhaktavatsala Prabhu, who has been at ISV from very long time. And we will keep it very sweet and short. That's what generally our mood is. And we were going to start with Vaisheshika Prabhu's talk. And then we'll have Mother Nirkula speak, Mother Jagrini. I'm just saying all the names so then, we can keep it short and sweet. And also everyone is here. So that way we can start. We want to have everyone just make it to the room back. And then we're going to have Rohini will say something for 1 minute. And then Mother Shraddha, who works with the organizing Yatra. And we'll have Sham Bhakta Prabhu from Kitchen Department and Ramananda Prabhu from Pujari Department. So we'll have everyone come in beside Vaisheshika Prabhu and Mother Nirkula. If we can keep it sweet and short, that would be great. Thank you very much.
Hare Krishna. Some devotees distinguish themselves and leave such a mark in the hearts of others that when they leave, we never forget it. And hey, don't give him a mic. He doesn't get one. You've, Bhaktavatsala Prabhu, left an indelible impression in the hearts of all the devotees here and on the project itself. You dedicated decades to this project, heart and soul. Over many, many years, took on the role of temple president for a while, head pujari, head cook, and I noticed how the devotees the other day when talking about your leaving were heartbroken, and I am too. We are going to be remembering you and all that you've done here, especially the ways that you've set standards for keeping things in such a order that we don't get shut down. As I think again and again, if you weren't here and there was somebody walked in, you had saved the day so many times for the kitchen standards and so many permits that we needed to get. It was just an indication of the way that you've helped to manage things here. So please come back on a regular basis. And this is your home. I saw a picture of you yesterday in a convertible with Lord Nrsingadev in your lap, Lakshmi Nrsingadev. And I know how heavy that deity is because when we moved, and I was just thinking how blissfully you looked with the Lord in your lap. And because of your devotional heart and style, you've attracted Lord Nrsingadev to come here, and it's really not going to be the same without you. So we're all praying for your success in Alachua, but also that you come back on a regular basis and be part of the community as much as possible. Thank you for everything you've done. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Visheshika Prabhu. We have Mother Nirkola. She has seen him from very, very long time in Krishna consciousness, and she will share with us.
Hare Krishna. I was just thinking how I'm actually, one part of me is very happy for Bhaktavatsala. He's retired from a job that was very stressful, and now he can focus on a personal service that he's been given by his Guru Maharaj, Hridayananda Das Goswami, working with the BI and the devotees who do the ombudsman. ISKCON Resolve. And so he'll be using a lot more brain than brawn. And so, although it does take a lot of brain to do what he did with organizing the kitchen and the Pujari department for some time, I'm happy that he's moving on in a different way. He'll be preaching, reaching out to the college there and the university in Gainesville. And so I know he's going to do great things there, and everyone there is so looking forward. Our loss is their gain, and they're really looking forward to having him there. So I was thinking that you've attracted a lot of devotees to whatever service you were doing. They would want to be with you. They'd want to serve with you. They want to learn from you. And that's, that's really a special quality, one of the special qualities that you have. When we, Ujjwala Rasa really put on a very nice, small going away party for Bhaktavatsala. And I was telling the devotees that Bhaktavatsala's been like this since he was a kid. He's got friends that he's had since grammar school, and they're still good friends. He's got friends that he worked with at UCLA and in Boston, and they're still good friends. And just what you see with him here, how generous he is with his time and his Lakshmi and everything else, he's like that with everybody, with our family, everybody. That's who he is, across the board. So the fact that I'm not crying shows you that I am in denial about how much it's going to affect me. But I am really happy for him. I think it's a really good move. He'll be able to take care of his health. I love you, and I wish you all the best. And as your brother-in-law said, we hope you'll come back often. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, and thank you, Mother Nirakola and Sister Nirakola. Thank you. And next we have Jagrini, Mother Jagrini. She's going to mention.
Hare Krishna.
Yeah, behind the curtain. Hare Krishna, everybody. Vanchakalpatarubhyascha kripasintabhyeva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. I think I'm in denial too. We've been kind of in celebration mode for the past week or so. Everybody is celebrating Bhaktavatsala's going away in a sense with prasadam and get-togethers and so many things, but it's kind of like then after the dust settles, it's like the separation begins. Bhaktavatsala is an amazing person. He's really one of a kind. He has limitless energy. Actually, it runs in the family, and Nirkula's the same way. I call them bionic. They never run out of energy or strength, and nothing is too much for him to do for a friend. Nothing. He'll drive. Jamuna was mentioning that this is very recent. Her son Rai had an accident and needed to go. There was complications. He needed to go back to a plastic surgeon in Pacific Grove, and Bhaktavatsala said, "I'll take him," and just like that, just left him, went and brought him to the doctor because he's good at communicating to doctors. And he gave Jamuna peace of mind, which is what I think every one of us has experienced. If there's ever been a time of need or concern, Bhaktavatsala gives peace of mind. So I wish for you that you get as much peace of mind times 100 that you've given everybody in our congregation and all your friends and all your associates throughout your life. And I hope you get it in 100 times that amount. I don't know if all of you know, but Bhaktavatsala also was very dedicated to God from the time he was a young boy. We were all raised Catholic. He went to seminary. He was going to be a priest. And I'm glad that didn't work out. So he's a very special, very, very special person, and we're going to miss him terribly. The one good thing is he doesn't mind getting on a plane and traveling. He doesn't mind traveling long distances, so I hope you come back a lot, and we'll come there too. Okay. We love you, Bhaktavatsala. Hare Krishna.
As we hear from everyone that Bhaktavatsala is a family. He's a family, so we're very happy to hear glories about him. Next, we're going to go request Ramananda Prabhu, who has been Pujari here, head Pujari, and work very closely with Bhaktavatsala Prabhu. And he's very rare because we don't get to hear from him more often.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Bhaktavatsala Prabhu, for being here for all of us. We really cherish your association here at ISV. And we know that ISV means a lot for you. I have seen that you are pretty much ready to do anything, whatever is needed for the service of the Madan Mohan. And I've seen you shopping, cooking, cleaning, DT service, management, whatever is needed, you do it. No need to ask. I know Bhaktavatsala Prabhu for around 15 years, almost since the time I joined ISKCON. And all these years, he has been very, very consistent. Initially, he was managing he was the head pujari here, and he was also head cook. And he was also a board member also, and he was doing all these activities. And he is also a fearless leader. We'll very much missing your association, and we hope you come back again and again to ISV. And we wish you all the best. Thank you.
So, as we know, Bhaktavatsala Prabhu has managed the kitchen for many years, and I wanted to introduce Shyam Bhakta Prabhu. Not many devotees knows him, but Shyam Bhakta Prabhu is groomed under Bhaktavatsala Prabhu, and he's one of the very fine kitchen devotee, actually, where he cleans as just like Bhaktavatsala Prabhu. He cooks, he's very conscious and mindful like Bhaktavatsala Prabhu. So we'll just hear 1 minute from Shyam Bhakta Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna Prabhu. I'm not very good at speaking. I have so many thoughts and I have very less time to speak about. I just wanted to tell a few things. Like Shastra says, there are two types of teachers. One is education systems. One is a monkey, where it is all responsibility of the child. It holds his mother and tries to learn all the tricks. And the second is the kitchen, the cat, where the mother takes all responsibility of the child. It shifts it so many times, it holds it, it feeds it, and it does it. And Bhaktavatsala Prabhu, we are very thankful that you have taken care like the second sister, which is very easy for us, you know. We don't need to worry much, and once you are there, things are very easy for us. And I just wanted to say, on behalf of kitchen team, Siddhakata Prabhu, everybody are there, we try to assemble 10 to 12 devotees to just replace what Bhaktavatsala Prabhu was doing in kitchen. I'm not talking about other stuff. And we are still scrambling how to do. So we know, like the patient knows better than doctor about the disease, right? So we know how difficult it is to replace your role, Prabhu. And we are still in shock. And we are still scrambling, who has to do what, and we keep reminding ourselves. Personally to our family, like, I just wanted to say one word. My career has been like going to a lot of places around. I was like a ghost ship in the sea. In ISV, to our family, you have actually anchored us, made us to stay at one place, taught us so many things, and I can't even tell how many things you have taught us. And we are really grateful for you, Prabhu. Thank you very much. And please give us your association, teach us how to do service, and please always keep us in your prayers.
Thank you, Shyam Bhakta Prabhu, and I really like you gave the analogy from the Shastra. And you can see he's a humble and hungry devotee. He grabs and observes everything. I would also like to take you to Jagannath Puri and Mayapur by inviting Mother Shraddha to share her experience that Bhaktavatsala Prabhu has not just part of ISB, but also the part of the Yatra. And she'll share her good stories probably in 1 or 2 minutes.
Thank you. Hare Krishna. Couple of years ago on a Saturday afternoon, when I had reached back home, it was month of May, it was hot, and I had eaten a lot of prasadam here, which of course was prepared by Bhaktavatsala Prabhu, lots of cashew nuts in it. And I was about to doze off when Damodar Vanshidhari Prabhu called and said, "Can you give the Mother's Day lecture tomorrow?" And I just panicked. And I was thinking, how do I approach it? And I said, okay, I'll just have a list of different types of mothers and I'll talk about that. And the first name that came to my mind was Bhaktavatsala Prabhu. Because of the nice motherly affection that you give to all the congregation members and especially to me. I remember you are the one who taught us how to cook when you did the first Krishna conscious cooking, which was organized by Malini Mataji, you. And it was really, had a very strong impression on me as to how, when you're cooking for Krishna, the mood is so different, why you should not even hold your cell phone in your hand, the germs, etc., like that. So not only did you teach us how to cook, you also, during the yatra, you taught us how to eat it. Because most of us in Jagannath Puri used to fall sick. And you taught us how to wash, and that it's important for us to wash our hands before we eat. Such simple things which we just used to forget. And we saw that just by following one instruction, we saw a tremendous decrease in the amount of devotees who fell sick. And even leading up to the yatra, you were always watching out for, looking out for, offering your services. In fact, just as a yatra would end, you would start thinking about how can I ask my boss that I need time off another year for 3 months to be at the yatra. You would be watching for what virus strains are there, what does the WHO statistics talk about, the flu that is happening and things like that. So you were constantly meditating on that. And I know that you were at the Dham and you wanted to, spend your time doing 32 rounds and, going for Mangalarti. But invariably, at least 50% of the time, you could not do that because you were at least, going to, coming on the parikramas, etc., because you were there nursing somebody sick. And so many times I would come and tell you, Bhaktavatsala Prabhu, just leave and just come, they're sleeping. But you would always say no, that how can I do that? So thank you so much. Thank you so much for that. And we are talking about missing you. And whenever I think about missing, I always think about the chapter from Bhagavatam which talks about Krishna returning to Dwarka. And it talks about how his 16,000 wives used to always think about him, so they never missed him. So my request to all of you would be that, whenever we are doing any of these nice things that Bhaktavatsala Prabhu taught us, whether it was to cook properly, whether it was to do deity service properly, whether it was to wash your hands before you eat. If we keep meditating, then as Krishna returned to Dwarka, Bhaktavatsala Prabhu is also going to return back here. That's my sincere prayer. So thank you so much for everything that you did.
Thank you, Mother Shraddha. And the next devotee I have is the youth of ISV, and she has been part of Bhaktavatsala Prabhu's cooking coaching classes, and as well as now she cooks Wednesday Prasadam herself, and it's so nice to see because she was born in front of Bhaktavatsala Prabhu too. So we'll have our Rohini come forward and share.
Hare Krishna Bhaktavatsala Prabhu. Please accept my most respectful obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and all glories to your service. Bhaktavatsala Prabhu, I have known you since the day I was born. Which was about 21 years ago or 20 years ago. Thank you so much, Bhaktavatsala Prabhu, for always inspiring me to serve in the kitchen in the correct mood. And I seek your blessings so that I can continue to serve like you have served for the last 25 years at ISV. And also, this morning I was remembering in our last temple, on Saturdays, you used to make cinnamon rolls. And they were the most delicious cinnamon rolls I have ever had. So I'm going to miss you so much, Prabhuji, from the bottom of my heart. Please come back every year or every week.
How could you say no to this?
Hare Krishna. Your servant, Rohini.
Thank you very much, Rohini, and thank you for all your blessings on her. It's wonderful to see the future of ISV. Now, I know that Akranath Prabhu has raised his hand. I would like to you to share, please. Is that okay? But let's keep it sweet and short.
Nice. I just wanted to say that Bhaktavatsala Prabhu shines in one special quality that is a good example for all of us, is how much he's serving the devotees. And that when we're hearing devotees talk about him, so many devotees have stories about how he came to their aid in a time of need. And he's in a serving profession. As someone pointed out, it's not just the devotees, also his other friends, his family and things, that he has he's not callous about the feelings of other people, but he rolls up his sleeves and takes care of people when they need it. And that's an important quality that, speaking for myself, sometimes we overlook. So, Jai Bhaktavatsala Prabhu.
Thank you, Akaranath Prabhu. This is probably the shortest I ever. But this is like a whipped cream on the top of today's cake. So thank you so much. And I think Mother Jagrini is making some banana cream pie. That's Bhaktavatsala's favorite. So thank you. With this, I would like to also thank myself to Bhaktavatsala Prabhu from everything that you have done. I can write a book on it. But I just want to thank you. The one you've been there every day since I've been here at ISV 25 years. You never hesitated. You always picked up the phone, even if it's a midnight. Even you needed somebody to stay at the hospital with you for not 1 day, 2 days, but even 10 days. He's always there. He can always there to run the grocery shopping. He can always run to flour. I mean, you will be definitely missed every bit of the days that we have at ISV. So we pray that you buy a house here in Silicon Valley in the near future and move here soon. And you can build equity on the Florida home. With that, ISV, we are good at business. We can help you with the strategies and planning. Okay, with that, I want to just share one thing that we will remember, continue to remember Bhaktavatsala Prabhu with many various ways, but every time we see the Mother Mohan DT, who has been a gift of ISV from Bhaktavatsala Prabhu. He helped, he asked us to go to India and get the DTs made, and we got them here. So we'll pray to this Mother Mohan and remember you, and that you continue in the service of Srila Prabhupada. You make a difference, and you make Srila Prabhupada smile at you every day. Hare Krishna. And I can understand each of your hearts that you all want to share. I have a kudos board online where you can go put your loving memories, your realizations, and sharing that we can give Bhaktavatsala Prabhu towards his trip at ISV. With that, we'll go into Prasadam. I have sent it out on ASV General, and I'll send the reminder out. And those who could not get to that, I will be happy to. Yes, but before we go into it, I just want to make sure that you all have opportunity to share your love for him and express your gratitude through the kudos board. So everyone is included into that. Now, before we go to Bhaktavatsala Prabhu sharing with us, I also wanted to make sure that the kids are writing a card for you so you can collect from them in case if you don't see the little ones today, maybe tomorrow. So we hope to see you tomorrow. So now let's hear from Bhaktavatsala Prabhu.
So I've been cataloging everything that happened over the past 25 years so that we can all look at the history of ISV when we celebrate next year, our 25th anniversary. And so many things flooded through my mind, most of them very funny and joyous. And I'll share just a couple with you. I never knew how to cook when I first started 25 years ago. And proof of that is when Jayapataka Maharaj came to visit. B.V. Madhava Swami had left, and he had called and said, I want to come and encourage you boys to keep the program going there. So Hansa Priya, I think, was in India, so Maharaj stayed in her room upstairs. and I was in the kitchen cleaning the kitchen up after a long day, and he was standing at the top of the stairs, and he said, Bhaktavatsala, no, Bhakta Brian, I'm hungry. Can you make me something? I said, yes, Maharaj, what would you like? Freaking out, like, I can't cook. And it was late. It was probably like 9 o'clock in the evening, and we all had a really long day. He said, I just want some puff rice and some hot milk. So I immediately called Jagarini, who told me how to make puff rice, nice and spicy, he said. And I already knew hot milk. That was a given. So I quickly made them, and I brought them upstairs to him. But what I didn't tell you I did, which Maharaj cracked up laughing. I've never seen anybody laugh so hard. I didn't know what he was really asking for, so I put the hot milk in with the puff rice. And I brought it upstairs to him, and he just laughed and laughed, and he said, yep, this is ISKCON. So I made a vow that day to memorize Adi Raja's cookbook so I could start cooking the Sunday feasts and such. And so many times calling Nirakula and Jagarini, asking them, how do you do this, how do you do that? And one time I was in India, and I was really trying very hard to hone my skills in cooking Indian food, which is not very easy for a pizza pasta loving boy like me. And Bhubaneswar was a wonderful devotee there who just left his body not too long ago, was in charge of cooking the Rajbhoga. So I knew him really well over the years, and I went to him and I said to him, can you give me any tips on how to cook, Rajbhoga offerings? He said, yeah, it's very easy. You take your ingredients, you throw it up in the air, it comes down on the plate. Radharani takes care of everything. What are you worried about? Typical Bhubaneswar. I walked out of there feeling so not helped. That didn't help. But over the years, when Hansapriya came back from India, she was like, get out of my way, I'm in charge of the kitchen practically. Whatever her mother and her sister taught her back home, she memorized, and she was immediately a first-class cook. So I'm always in competition with Hansapriya, if you guys, mostly to maintain my friendship with her. So I started looking through Jamuna's cookbook, and I don't know how many of you have ever read Jamuna's cookbook, but it's very detail-oriented, and it's impossible to follow her recipes unless you're an expert cook, which I'm trying to impress upon you. I was not, and I still am not. But it was with the reciprocation from the devotees at the Union, mostly at Union Avenue is when I really started cooking Sunday Feast. It was the reciprocation of those devotees that kept me going. They'd come up to me and say, wow, that was upma. And I was like, Hansapriya and I started calling it ikma after I started making it. So, so many wonderful experiences happened watching all these people. I remember the day Bali Mardan brought Balaram home from the hospital and stopped by the temple to offer him to the deities. I remember so many wonderful things that are flooding through my mind. But there's no way you can replace all of you. I don't know how to say that. All right, who bet that at 5 minutes and 2 seconds he'd start crying? Who bet on that? I'm gonna try not to. It's really hard. I remember when Srinathji was our temple deity with Radharani, and I remember getting a phone call from Bhakti True Swami in Texas telling me to take the deity off the altar as soon as possible and replace him. And then a week later, Mahavishnu Swami from Gujarat came and visited us, and we were so proud that he was here. And we brought him over to the temple, and we opened the curtains, and he was like, what is this nonsense? Take Radharani and lock her up in the closet tonight. And there was no way I could do it. So I basically told him, give me a month and we'll replace Srinathji. And then moments later, Radha Ballabha, also known as Krishna Karuna, to those who might remember him, came to me and said that he had found a family in Baltimore to take Srinathji. So we put him on a plane, got him a ticket. The ticket said Srinathji, and Radha Ballabha flew with him to Baltimore, I think it was. DC. And I just learned recently that the family that has been taking care of him so nicely these past couple of years, or 20 years, got too old to take care of him, so they gave him to a family in Alachua. And when I was there, I looked long and hard. I was asking everybody, where is he? I need to see him. I need to bring pictures back to everybody to show them. But he was elusive. I could not find out who had him in their house. Nobody seemed to know, but the rumor is true. Everybody said, yeah, we've heard he's here, but we don't know who has him. So when I get there, I will promise you, I will take pictures of Srinathji and send them on to you. I'm thinking of all the outfits we bought, all the all the time spent on the altar trying to live up to the standard, which is, in my humble opinion, next to impossible. But when you call yourself a kitchen help, change that to kitchen pujari, because the kitchen is part of the altar. It's deity worship, being in the kitchen. Keep that in your mind when you're working in there too. It's very important. Like Shambhakta Prabhu, he never stops chanting the whole time he's cooking. Carrying dirty pots to the sink, he's repeating the Maha Mantra over and over again, not counting on beads, just out loud for us all to hear. Changes the whole atmosphere in the temple, in the kitchen. So if I can just impart any knowledge to you at all, it's seva, or devotional service, is what will save us all. It will bring you closer to Krishna and closer to the deities and closer to Srila Prabhupada. We spend our whole day chanting on our rounds, begging Krishna for service. And when it comes, don't turn it down. Krishna's doing you a big favor. You've been asking, here it is. Get in the kitchen and scrub some pots. Get on the hands and knees and scrub the floor. No matter what the service is, don't turn your back. You will be successful 100 times over again if you follow the instructions of your Guru Maharaj and take that seva seriously. So I know you're all hungry. They mentioned banana cream pie, which is my favorite. So I'm waiting to get out there too. So why don't we all just give a round of applause to all the wonderful devotees in here. Oh, the kids. Don't forget, next Saturday I'm throwing a pizza party for the kids. And if you're really good, we'll have cinnamon rolls. Haribol.
Hare Krishna. Haribo. His Grace Bhaktavatsala Prabhu ki. So now for everybody's favorite part. Today's feast is very special for multiple reasons. The first being that it was sponsored by Her Grace Rasika Shiromani Mataji for Govind Charan Prabhu's birthday. And now for what we've all actually been waiting for. Today's prasadam is pretty Bhaktavatsala Prabhu themed, and there are several main courses, actually 4 main courses, and the first one is Upma, a Bhaktavatsala Prabhu classic, and guess what nut it's loaded with? His favorite nut. Cashews, yes. And as he mentioned, he is a pizza pasta boy, so there is pizza and marinara pasta and pesto pasta. And and for the 4th main course, there's salad, and there are 6 different desserts today. The first being banana cream pie, his favorite. There are brownies, oatmeal chewy bars, coffee cake, lemon butterscotch cookies, and cranberry cookies. And on that note, we can start with prasadam first.
Sharirat Vijaja Jotendriya Tahika Jive Pele Vishaya Shabdare Dharma Jedi Vayati Lobo Moisu Durmati Take jeta katita shankare Krishna boro doyamo Koribare jihoja Shra prasadana diloba Sheyanamrita pao Radha Krishna Guna Gao. Preme Dako Shri Chaitanya Nihita. Preme Dako Shri Chaitanya Nita Mabshare Govinde Nama Brahmani Vaishnave Sapa Punya Vatam Rajan Visha Sona Vijayate Prasade Sarva Dukana Hani Rasho Bajayate Prasana Cheta Soyashu Buddhi Parya Vishishtate Toyopa Bhukta Suganda Vasulankara Karchitaha Uchishta Bojino Dasyas Davamayam Jayemahi Bhagavat Shri Mahaprasadaki Barhapidam Banana Cream Pie Gaur Premanande Vanchakalpatarishta Kripasinabhevacha Patitanam Pavanibhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Hare Krishna. Please come take prasadam.